believe I'm saying this, but welcome to my channel. So lately, I've started this new hobby which I've been longing to learn for the past few years, but I only got the opportunity to learn it this pandemic, and that is baking. And I want to share with you today a simple recipe, the first ever recipe that I've ever baked in my whole life, and that is oatmeal cookies. If you want to know how to make this simple recipe, then keep on watching. Start with your room temperature butter, then the brown sugar, then white sugar. Use a whisk until it's creamy. Add in your vanilla, then the egg. Whisk until well combined. On a separate bowl, prepare your flour, salt, baking soda, and cinnamon powder. Fold in your dry ingredients, then add the instant oats. Continue to mix the ingredients until it's well combined. Use a tablespoon to scoop your cookie dough into your baking tray. Make sure to leave spaces between them because they will spread in the oven. Make sure you have preheated your oven into 190 degrees Celsius and bake them for 9 to 10 minutes. And we're ready to bake! Since we're waiting for our cookies, why don't we talk about waiting today? And you know, when I say wait, it's not about waiting about trivial things and like just a few minutes or a few hours, but talking about waiting for something that seems long overdue. You know, when you have this desire, this dream that you've been longing for, you've been asking God for, you've been praying for, and yet God isn't giving it to you yet. You know, sometimes we get impatient that we start to take things in our own hands. But today, I want to remind all of you the importance of waiting on God's timing. And in baking, there's a lot of waiting moments actually. You have to wait for your dough to rise, usually a minimum of an hour and 30 minutes. Or when your pastries to bake, at least for this cookie recipe, you only need 12 minutes. But there are recipes who will require you to bake them for 30, 40, 50, or even an hour. I mean, that's long. But there's this one thing that I'm not really fond of doing. Alam nyo kung ano yun? It's waiting for my cold butter to be in room temperature. Parang yung butter natin kanina. You know, it's in spreadable consistency. And alam niyo, kasi butters are stored in the fridge. So they're cold, they're hard when you take them out. And most recipes, they call for room temperature butter. So you have to take them out. Tapos sa malamig na weather natin ngayon, it takes more than 2 hours to really soften that butter. I've encountered a lot of mishaps because I did not wait properly for my butter to be in room temperature. That's why it's very important to wait patiently, because if you wait, if you have the right ingredients, you can expect for a good outcome of your pastry. Same is true in life. We have to learn to be patient in waiting in God. Kasi when we have the right things, we can actually expect for good outcomes sa mga buhay natin. When God says wait, then wait. Huwag mo siyang pangunahan. Classic examples, you're praying to be in a relationship, to find the right man or to find the right woman for you. And then, here you are, God says, wait lang anak. And then here you are, you still enter that relationship. Or maybe you have this dream job or dream business and you start to compromise just to get them. Kasi sabi ni God, wait lang, and then things are not going well. You start to compromise. Alam, yung parang pinipilit mo yung sarili mo to be in a place where you shouldn't be. You're like a cold butter in a recipe that calls for a room temperature one. And in the end, you can end up hurting yourself, and worst, even hurting the people around you. We have to realize the importance of waiting patiently. Why? Because testings and trials will come our way. Just like every pastry that will go through the oven, it will go through the fire. They will be tested. There's a possibility, even though you put the right ingredients, the right consistency of the butter, the right amount of flour, still there's a chance na masusunog yung binake mo. Ganon din sa buhay natin, there will be testings and struggles. You know, if you're with the right person. It doesn't mean magiging happily ever after na. Alam mo yun, we're not in fairy tales. You will fight. You will have misunderstandings. You will offend each other. Alam mo yun? Or even if you have your dream job or your dream business, you will encounter problems. You will get tired along the way. It's not gonna be a walk in the park kind of life. Now, maybe you're asking, okay, so may problema naman para both, whether I will wait patiently or not. So, why wait? Why? Because there's always a difference between the two. First is with the pain. Yes, both will have painful moments. But if you will ask me, I'd rather go through the pain in waiting than go through the pain caused by wrong or bad decisions. You choose. Second is our attitude while being tested. When you know in yourself that you did not wait on God, it's hard to ask God to rescue you. Why? Because you know that's not from Him. I always say this to the students that I mentor, you cannot cheat on your exams and ask God to pass you. It's as if you're asking Him to bless your cheating. Same is true with that. It's hard to ask God for rescue because we know that we disobeyed Him. And I don't know if you can have that confidence to ask Him for help when you know in yourself that you put yourself in there because you were not patient enough and you disobeyed Him. On the other hand though, when you know that you have waited patiently on God, that this is an answered prayer from Him, that this is the season that He has called you to be in, we can have that confidence when hardships and trials and testings happen in our life. We can actually ask God for rescue. And we can even ask for anything with confidence. We can even say, Lord, you're the one who called me in this. You will be the one who will get me through this. And there's so much more, but we don't have the time to discuss all those. So, why wait? Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. We wait because we can trust God's perfect timing. He is never late nor early. He is always on time. And when we wait, we can have that hope in our hearts that beautiful things happen when God says it's time. Our cookies are ready. Let's go get them. Now, time to taste our cookies. Gosh, it is so good. It's crispy on the outside and it's so gooey on the inside. And that's it. I hope this video has helped you in many ways. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. Bye till my next video!